Picture a pitch-black womb of seawater hovering just above freezing. Inside, 10 siblings glide in slow motion, already hatched, fully formed, and pulsing with life before daylight ever touches their skin. Their mother gives no lesson, no lingering glance. She simply opens her cloacal door, lets the pups slip out one by one, and disappears into 800 meters of twilight. They don't follow. Evolution never wrote that instinct into their DNA. Instead, each tiny shark drifts off on its own, fortified by a natural antifreeze, urea and trimethylamine-oxide that keeps flesh supple where ice should reign. But drifting doesn't mean dawdling. Even newborns know one rule: conserve. Their hearts thump just 11 times a minute, their muscles fire like a clock set to centuries, and every flick of the tail is measured as if it costs gold. No predator hassles them. None can be bothered with a meal so lean, so slow, so strangely warm in water cold enough to shatter lesser proteins. Yet safety is an illusion. The Arctic deep offers no comfort, only indifference. Survive by subtraction, whispers the current, and the pups obey. And if you think that sounds lonely, wait until you learn how long the silence lasts. Weeks become months, and the shark, now scarcely larger, settles around half a kilometer below the waves, where sunlight dies and temperatures hover near 0 degrees Celsius. Here, metabolism drops to the slowest level ever measured in a fish. Growth crawls at roughly 1 centimeter per year, a biological crawl that will define the rest of its life. Nothing down here can bother speeding. Prey animals move like drifting leaves, predators even slower. A Greenland shark can coast for months without eating and feel no panic. When food finally materializes, a cod corpse, a lump of discarded blubber, it inhales with a lazy vacuum cleaner gulp and returns to stillness, burning calories so frugally that biologists joke it lives on interest, never touching the principle. Yet neutrality has costs. Vision grows useless in eternal dusk, and one day a pale parasite wriggles onto each cornea. This parasite clamps down, feeding on eye tissue until the shark's world fades to gray, then black. Sightless? Yes. Helpless? Absolutely not. Electroreceptive pores along its snout can detect the faint buzz of muscle fibers yards away, while its sense of smell traces a single molecule in an Olympic pool's worth of water. Eyes are optional. Endurance is mandatory. But even endurance can't prepare it for the strangest meals drifting out of the blue. One Arctic night, though night is meaningless at 500 mi, the shark encounters a scent so thick it feels solid. Following the plume, it finds not a fish but a bloated, upside-down moose tumbling toward the abyss. How did a land mammal end up here? Maybe thin autumn ice swallowed it. Maybe a storm surge ripped it from shore. The shark doesn't care. It circles once, then bites into hide tougher than kelp rope. Smaller scavengers scatter. They know better than to argue with a 4-meter vacuum cleaner. Scientists examining gut contents have logged polar bear jawbones, reindeer legs, even an entire seal still wearing winter fat, proof that this species is less hunter than janitor of the far north. Carrion dining carries its own dangers. From behind the moose carcass, a tentacled shadow lashes out, a deep-sea squid staking its claim. A burst of pain slices through the shark's tail, but stoicism overrides reflex. It simply tilts, drifts backward, and vanishes into thicker dark, leaving the carcass and the squid's temper to settle. A wound is nothing. Wasting energy on revenge would be unforgivable. Yet the deep isn't always organic. Sometimes the threat hums with electricity, forged far above the ice. In 2022, a research submersible off Belize filmed a half-blind silhouette tailing its floodlights. A Greenland shark, 3,000 kilometers south of the cold Arctic realms textbooks assigned it. Biologists were stunned. Pocket canyons of 4 degrees Celsius water apparently snake through tropical basins, giving this cold-blooded wanderer secret highways to the Caribbean. Our shark meets the machine cousin of that sub-1 silent afternoon. A metallic drone glides by, thrumming with current, cameras flashing like artificial plankton blooms. The shark freezes mid-stroke. Electroreceptors scream unfamiliar patterns. The robot pauses, turns, then pursues, its propellers stirring a funnel of icy silt. Not prey, not predator, just an alien presence that behaves like neither. The shark sinks another 10 meters, the drone loses lock and buzzes away, offended by physics. Technology retreats, and the animal returns to anonymity. Climate models now hint these incursions will grow. Warm surface layers force Arctic species deeper while opening mid-latitude refuges farther south. Greenland sharks may soon haunt Gulf of Mexico slopes, where longline hooks already shadow the bottom like iron cornfields. Of course, wandering is easy when you have centuries to spare. In 2016, radiocarbon dating of islands proteins rewrote biology's record books. A female Greenland shark turned out to be born around 1620, nearly 400 years old. Confidence intervals stretched even higher, flirting with half a millennium. How? Cold water slows molecular decay, yes, but the real magic seems baked into its genome. A 2025 draft sequence revealed extra copies of DNA repair genes, variants of TP53, tweaked NFKB regulators, cellular cleanup crews that in humans blink out with age. Lab analysts whispered about potential cancer proofing, pharmaceutical giants quietly filed patents. Yet longevity isn't free. Sexual maturity waits until roughly 150 years, making every breeding age female a relic older than Beethoven's ninth. Kill a single adult and you erase 3 lifetimes of potential pups. And those pups? They'll hatch inside the mother for perhaps a decade before emerging into an ocean already transformed by your carbon footprint. Even so, when the moment finally arrives, romance is anything but romantic. Imagine drifting blind through icy ink for a century and a half before meeting another of your kind. The encounter is silent, a faint Morse code of electrical pulses playing across sensitive skin. Neither accelerates, neither circles. They simply align, exchange gametes in a brief shiver, and part forever. No courtship, no family bond, no pair bond memory. Just genetic insurance carried forward on 2 separate currents. With litters averaging 10 and gestation suspected to rival that of elephants, population replacement runs on geological time. But the ocean isn't patient. Deep-set halibut lines baited with squid snag Greenland sharks faster than data collectors can tally. Bycatch reports from Canadian trawl fleets rose 8-fold between 2014 and 2017 alone. And a metal hook is merciful compared with the one predator that truly knows how to end a 4-century life in minutes. In 2024, researchers filmed orcas flipping whale sharks into tonic immobility, draining livers rich in oil, then vanishing like maritime hitmen. The same tactic works on any big, slow shark, and Arctic killer whale pods are already legendary for innovation. Picture the Greenland shark at age 400, cruising a familiar ravine. Turbulence interrupts the steady current. A blunt force slams its flank, rolling 2 tons of cartilage upside down. Paralysis switches on, a reflex older than the species itself. A second impact rips open ventral skin. A third extracts the softball-sized liver, caloric gold to an orca. Blood clouds the water, but the shark scarcely twitches. After 4 centuries of unstoppable motion, its journey ends in 14 chaotic seconds. The carcass drifts, liverless, until brittle stars pick the bones clean. What does it mean when a creature that can witness the rise and fall of nations can't outlast one curious whale? Strip away myth, and the Greenland shark is a swimming archive. Carbon ratios in its flesh reveal industrial-era soot. Mercury in its cartilage charts mining booms. Microplastics now lodge where earlier centuries stored volcanic dust. A single individual carries chemistry lessons stretching back to the English Civil War. Trawl it up, and you cut a page from Earth's own diary. Marine biologists studying that diary hope to unlock treatments for aging, cancer, even hypothermia, humanity's obsession with borrowed time. Yet the species that might hand us those secrets is listed vulnerable, squeezed by warming seas above and oxygen-starved trenches below. So here's the paradox. An animal engineered to live virtually forever can still vanish in a single human decision. A misplaced longline, a warming eddy, an orcapod emboldened by disappearing ice. If endurance alone guaranteed survival, the Greenland shark would be invincible. Instead, its fate now intertwines with ours, clocking each policy shift in CO2 and each plastic fragment we toss away. Somewhere beneath the ice, a newborn pup is coasting through darkness, 1 centimeter taller than yesterday. It might watch the 23rd century dawn, or it might meet a hook before you finish dinner. The choice, shockingly, is ours. Because when an animal that outlives empires still needs our mercy, maybe longevity isn't the ultimate superpower after all. Maybe stewardship is. Feeling brave? Dive deeper and discover which deep-sea creature's life makes even the Greenland shark look cushy. Click the next video. Your mind and sense of mortality won't be the same.